Here we go, another one. I'm gonna start off with like the weekend roundup. I think is what I called it. So, um, last week was a bit of a thing. So on Monday, Dad had to stay home because he got a bit sicky. So I recorded SpongeBob with Dad in the house, which was something. Um, yeah, closed the door and all, but it was still weird recording with having someone in the house. I'm much more used to recording when no one's home and I can just be loud and not have to worry about anyone hearing me. So that was fun. So that was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was recording with well, Monday and Tuesday was recording with Dad in the house, and then Wednesday um was I was on my own finally again, so I could record and be loud. So that was awesome. And then on Friday, or skip it Thursday, nothing important happened on Thursday. On Friday, me and Dad went out for lunch again. Our normal weekly Friday lunches. We went to Cactus Club, and it was good. I got their bacon cheddar burger, which I think is smaller than I last saw it. Last time it was pretty big, but I think it's smaller now, which is good for me when I had it. But yeah, it was a really good burger, and yeah, that was mainly Friday. We had to pick up my brother from school as well, and then I started watching Peacemaker, which is what this is titled because I needed a title, so we're gonna call it Peacemaker. I started watching Peacemaker. I watched the first two episodes. Peacemaker, it's fine. Um, it's really rated R. It's like a really rated R show. They drop the F bomb every other time. Um, from the first two episodes from what I've seen, it's not mind-blowingly good. It's just standard. For me, it's just like standard. It's okay. Um, I'm gonna continue to watch it, but it hasn't, blown my mind, and I don't think it's meant to yet. So, yeah, so far I just think it's a fine. It's just a fine show. Uh, so that was that. We watched, of course, Rampage on Friday as well. Who could forget? And then Saturday, my mother's birthday was Saturday. Happy birthday to my mother. Um, gave her presents, which I bought like a week before, so I was ready. Then we went out to a Spanish restaurant downtown in downtown Richmond. I just ordered a plain quesadilla because that's how I am. So I just ordered a plain quesadilla, and that was it. It was nice. It didn't fill me up at all. I was still very hungry after, but I didn't want to eat more. So that was it. And then we went and we got my mom a new sewing machine, and this is like one of the new electronic sewing machines. It apparently costed like $1,000 or something, that was nice. And then we went to Duff and Donuts, which is a place we used to go to all the time, and I mean all the time. We used to go to Duff and Donuts. And we went back there, and my mom got, I don't know what she got. She got some sort of like Mexican food. Me and my dad got the cheeseburgers that we always used to get, the cheeseburger and fry combo. Their fries are really good. They're like Costco fries, but they add like their own seasoning on them. And my brother got fried chicken and fries. So brought me back to oh my god, almost 5 years ago when we used to go to Duff and Donuts all the time. I can't believe it's been almost 5 years. But that was nice. That was dinner. So I ate Duff and Donuts while I watched ICW, and yeah, that was nice. And then I've binged and finished all the new Legacy Inc.'s Wrestling Games Grand Prix, so I'm all caught up on that. So that was Friday. That was Saturday, and then yesterday on Sunday, it was the stay home lazy day. I had a shower. I played more of Hollow Fragment. Um, I found the 78th floor labyrinth now, so there is that. And then me and my father watched another episode of Peacemaker. And then I'm trying to think of what I did after that. Then I think me and my mother had a discussion on like plant-based foods because she has plant-based gummies, like in like her snack drawer on her desk in her room. They were actually pretty good, those gummies. We started talking about like plant-based foods and all that. And then my mother now apparently she wants to try the KFC plant-based chicken, which I myself am kind of interested in. So we might do that sometime this week. But we have to get rid of the food that we have in the fridge because we ordered Nando's for dinner, which was awesome. Really love Nando's. Nando's is the type of thing that like you could just order a big thing for the full family and you have food for like the next 3 days. Which is what we did. We emptied an entire box of rice, fries, and chicken just between the 4 of us yesterday. And I know I saw 2 more things of fries, 1 more thing of chicken, and I think there's another thing of rice. They also give you like a ton of garlic bread too, so we got a bunch of that. So we each can like have a really good dinner tonight as well. But yeah, that was nice. I ate Nando's for dinner yesterday. I watched an old retro episode of Raw. And then I watched K-Wing's Batman Arkham Asylum from where I was, from after the Killer Croc lair situation all the way to the end, so I know what I'm doing when I record. And that's been very helpful. Very helpful indeed. If everything goes well, by the time this goes out, the recorded Arkham videos that I just did won't be out yet, obviously. But if everything goes well, know that tomorrow I will be finishing Arkham Asylum. So, if everything goes well, that's the plan for tomorrow. Tomorrow marks the end of Arkham Asylum, recording-wise. And then I can move on to a new game. Then I have to, of course, periodically start uploading them. But then the plan is, of course, to start recording Hollow Fragment. And that will be my new big series on the channel. Yeah, and that is it. Then I woke up today, here Monday. Woke up, I had a cookie. I've got some orange juice here with me. And then I recorded some Arkham. And now I'm here. So that's that. What's my plan for the rest of the day? I don't know. I plan to start a load of wash and laundry. Plan to watch probably an episode of Pie in the Sky today. I don't know what else. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's really it for me today. Watch an episode of Pie in the Sky, start laundry, and yeah, I mean, I've recorded 2 videos today, so, and I mean, I'm technically doing a 3rd right now, so, yeah, that's really it for me for today. Of course, watch AEW Elevation later on tonight, probably when I eat my dinner, because that's when it will go out. But yeah, that's it for me today, really. And now we're gonna get into the news. Quite a bunch of news. This first one is news I forgot from last time, which is AEW Battle of the Belts. I was gonna go over that, but I didn't, so we're gonna go over it now. The first match was Sammy Guevara versus Dustin Rhodes for the interim TNT Championship. Of course, Cody Rhodes got in contact with someone who tested positive with COVID, so he couldn't be there. So we're doing an interim TNT Champion. And this isn't like the stupid WWE interim thing they did with their IC title. This is where they've outright said interim champ, and then when Cody comes back, interim champ and Cody will have a match to determine who is the true TNT champion, which I love that idea. And me and my dad, funnily enough, were just talking about that. But like right before the show, and then they announced that that's exactly what they're going to do, and we were just like, oh my god. The match was match of the night, Sammy and Dustin. Match of the night. It was the longest one by far, and it damn well deserved to be. Because again, match of the night. Dustin Rhodes has been pulling out bangers recently. This one with Sammy, his match with Danielson, his match with Malachi Black, like, he's just been pulling out bangers, man. I think the best spot of the match was Fuego del Sol came out of the ring, out from under the ring, and he set up a table for Sammy. He's like, Sammy, put Dustin through it. And then Arn comes up to Fuego and then pulls up the Glock, and Fuego just books it out of there. It was great. Dustin Rhodes then hits a Canadian Destroyer through the table on Sammy Guevara. Insane. Sammy ended up winning, of course, with a roll-up, and he's the interim TNT champion. Sammy then went on to defend the belt against Daniel Garcia last week on Dynamite, and he retained, and it was a nice, fun match. So yeah. Of course, Sammy and Cody will be having a unification match for the belt. When? I can assume next week on Beach Break. Sammy and Cody will probably have their unification match. We then had Ricky Starks, defend the FTW title against Matt Sydal. This match was the filler match of the night. This is the one where like you really just kind of zone out because the TNT title match was so good, and it's like you need to cool down, calm down. And of course, Ricky Skaggs retained his FTW title. And then the main event, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defended against Riho, the women's championship. This was a nice match. Not the best, obviously. The best was the first match. But this was a nice match, sowing more seeds to Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter's implosion that's eventually going to happen, which I'm going to lose my mind, because then Jamie Hayter should win the belt. Please, Jamie! But Britt Baker retained against Riho, obviously. And, yeah. That was Battle for the Belts. It was a nice 1 hour show. And a nice 1 hour special. And I cannot wait for the next one. Because I said Battle of the Belts will be a quarterly thing. So it's going to be 4 years. So the next one will happen. I want to say April, I think the next one's going to happen. So, yeah, that'll be great. So, yeah, that is that. So now moving on to actual news from this week. We have MLW has fired a lawsuit. They are suing WWE. So MLW is suing WWE due to the fact that WWE tried to like mess with their deal with Vice TV, because MLW's got a deal with Vice TV, and WWE was trying to mess with that and told Vice TV, hey, Vince ain't too happy that you're doing this with MLW. I think you should stop. And then MLW was going to do a deal with Tubi to get MLW on there, and WWE put the kibosh on that. So MLW is filing a lawsuit against them, saying, well, you can't do that. Best of luck to MLW, man. I wish them the best, and yeah, WWE sucks. Next up, take a break from wrestling news. Doctor Who news now. Out of Time 3. We have the cover, which looks awesome, and we have story details. So, Out of Time 3 is written by Lisa McMullen. I have not experienced any stories from her. So, here we go. Out of Time 3. Here's the bio. It says, when the 6th Doctor goes sightseeing on Ludicus Silvara, he finds himself in a place where nothing is visible at all, only all-encompassing light. The 10th Doctor is drawn in by a temporal anomaly, and the 2 Doctors meet a species with no sense of sight, living in a city surrounded by the weeping angels. To save a civilization, the Doctors must keep their eye on the angels. Don't blink. Don't even wink. That sounds awesome. Definitely getting Out of Time 3 when it comes out. I got the first 2. Really love them. It's great to just hear a multi-Doctor story, especially when it's my man Tennant. So looking at the cast, of course, we got David Tennant as the Doctor, Colin Baker as the Doctor, and then we got people playing 3 other members. So, I mean, a lot of times they don't have like big cast anyway, so there is that. There is no like when they recorded it or anything like that. I'm presuming they recorded it during lockdown. So there is that. Out of Time 3. It comes out in July, so still a long way to go, but it is nice to get something. Now we move on to, I don't think I've ever done any Sword Art news on this before, but I'm going to do it now. Of course, Progressive Volume 7, English version, comes out January 18th. So tomorrow, actually, Progressive Volume 7, English comes out. That's awesome. I need to get all the other volumes of Progressive. I've only got number 1 and number 6, I believe. So yeah, I gotta get all the other ones. And I also gotta keep building up my normal Sword Art collection too. So, Yeah, I think the next Sword Art book I'm getting though will be Progressive Volume 2, just because of I'm reading the Progressive series right now. So I'm almost done Aria of a Starless Night, just because I just decided I'm going to start reading the Progressive series because I'm listening to the normal one with the audiobooks that come out, and then after the audiobook, I finish the audiobook and I buy the book. So I'm listening to Volume 3's audiobook right now. And then when that's done, I'll buy Volume 3. But yeah, I'm almost done Aria of a Starless Night. And then the little interlude Reason for Whiskers. I've already read that. I don't know why I decided I wanted to read the interlude first. But yeah. I don't know why they couldn't have just made Aria Starless Night episode 2 of the anime. It's stupid. But it made it into an awesome movie. So there you go. Now we move on. More wrestling news now. We're back to wrestling. Jon Moxley returns. He's returning to wrestling. Well, we don't know if he's fully returning to wrestling. He's at least making a one-off appearance on January 23rd at GCW World, where he will be defending his GCW championship, because he's still the GCW champion. He's defending the belt against Homicide. Don't know if this is his return to wrestling or if he's just coming back to drop the title and then go back. But it's nice to see Mox back, and you know they're going to give him a big ovation. And then finally, Mustafa Ali asked for his release from WWE, much like Toni Storm, who said who she asked for her release, and then they granted her the release, I think on the same day. So here's hoping Mustafa Ali gets his release, man. I'm really rooting for the guy, man. They really just wasted him away, you know. They really wasted this guy. So I hope he gets his release, but this is WWE, so I'm not hoping for too much. And that's it. That's all I got. I got the news. I did the weekend stuff. And yeah, now I got nothing. So now I'm just going to go and finalize this and start some laundry. What a great start of a Monday.